Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss about Dockerizing the Springboot application. If you remember, in the previous video, we have discussed about Dockerizing the simple Java program, and this is the continuation of the same video. In this video, we will learn how to create a Springboot application and how to create a Docker image for the Springboot application, and we will run it on the Docker container. Let's begin. In case if you missed the previous video, the link will be given in the description section of this video. Go ahead and watch that. Just to save some time, I have already created this Springboot application with the name Docker tutorial. If you expand this inside the pom.xml, we have added the dependencies, the web dependency, the starter data JPA dependency, Lombok and H2 in-memory database, and the Springboot starter test dependency. And we have given the jar file name, which is Docker tutorial. Once we build the Springboot application, it is going to create the jar file with the name Docker tutorial. And we have used the Java version 1.8. Inside the source main Java, we have the controller model repository, and inside the resources, we have the data.sql file. It is going to create the employee table, and it is going to insert the two employee records, Bhushan and Bharat. And inside the application.properties, we are going to configure the data source for in-memory database. The database name is testdb, username, password, and we are going to enable the H2 console, and we will use the DDL -auto. We are going to set this to update. Pretty normal Spring Boot application. If you are experienced with developing the REST APIs with Spring Boot, then you can easily understand this. In case if you are very new to Spring Boot and if you don't know how to create a REST APIs in Spring Boot, then I highly recommend you to check out my course on creating a RESTful APIs with Spring Boot. You will understand everything. Alright, inside the controller, we have the employee controller. It is going to expose two REST endpoints, /employees for get mapping, /employees for post mapping. One is to save the employee details, one is to retrieve the employees from the in-memory database. Okay, so now we have the Spring Boot application. Let's go ahead and build this. So inside the Maven, first we're going to build the Maven project. Click on this install and click on this button. It is going to build the Spring Boot application. It is going to generate the jar file inside the target folder. You can see that build is success. Now inside the target folder, we have the jar file, which is docker tutorial.jar. Now in order to run this Spring Boot application, we can use the Java command. Let's open the terminal and let me clear this, and let's go to the target folder, cd target, and inside this we have a jar file. So in order to run that, we're going to use java -jar, and we will provide the jar file name, which is docker tutorial.jar. Hit enter. This is going to start the Tomcat server on port 8080, which is the default port. You can see the Tomcat started on the port 8080. Head over to the Postman and let's try a REST endpoint, localhost :8080/API/v1/employees. Click send. We do get the two employee records, Bharat and Bhushan. Okay, so now let's go ahead and Dockerize the Spring Boot application. Let me stop the server. Let me clear this. Let me come out of this. Okay, so now let me minimize this. In order to Dockerize this, first we need to create a Docker file. So at the root of the project, go ahead and create a file, which is Docker file. This file name does not have any extension. And inside this, we will write the instruction. We will start with the base image. We will provide the base image, which is OpenJDK. We will use OpenJDK 8. Next, we need to use the copy instruction. Like I said, this copy instruction takes the source and destination. We need to copy all the files, not all the files. We need to just copy the jar file, which is present inside this target folder, and we're going to copy it to the image with the same name, docker tutorial.jar. So let's do that. Target /docker tutorial.jar. We're going to copy this jar file, and we're going to copy it to the image with the same name, docker tutorial.jar. the source and the destination. Next, we need to provide the entry point. This will takes the array. We need to provide the Java command to run the jar file with a comma separated. Java -jar / docker tutorial .jar. That's it. So now our Docker file is ready. All we need to do is we need to build this. So we will start with the from. We will use the base image and we are going to copy the jar file to the destination, which is docker tutorial.jar, which is the destination path with the same image name. And we will provide the entry point, which is Java -jar / docker tutorial.jar. Let's save this. Now let's open the terminal. Let me open this inside the terminal. Docker. We need to build this. So, but I have to navigate to the folder, this Docker tutorial. Instead of this, I'm going to run it inside the IntelliJ IDEA terminal itself. That is better. So Docker, we need to use the build command, docker build -t. We need to provide the repository name, Bhushan 1992 / docker Springboot. You can also provide the tag, which is v1.0, but I'm going to keep it simple. It is going to add the by default tag, which is latest. And we need to provide the location where it has to build. We're going to build it inside the current directory. So let's add dot and hit enter. This is going to start building the Docker image depending upon your internet speed. Okay, once it is built successful, Docker images, you can see the image, which is Bhushan 1992 / docker -springboot, the latest, which is the tag, image ID, and the created 6 seconds ago, and 560 MB. Okay, now we have created the Docker image. All we need to do is we need to start this image inside the container. We need to start the Docker container. So for that, we are going to use Docker and we're going to use the run command, docker run, and we need to specify the port, on which port our application has to run, -p. We need to specify two ports, the host port and the container port. So the host port, which is 9090 : the container port 8080. By default, our Spring Boot application will be run on port 8080 inside the container. So, but we cannot access our application inside the container. So we need to map the container port to the host port so that we can access our application outside of the container. That is what the first parameter, which is the host port. We are going to access our application inside the port 9090. We are just mapping the container port to the host port. The first port is the one which we are going to access outside of the container. Just remember that. And we are going to provide the container image ID, which is 3F7. You don't have to specify the complete image ID, just the letters is enough. And the moment we click on this enter, it is going to start the container, and it is running on the port 8080, as you can see. And now if you go to the Postman, and in this port localhost 8080, if you try to access it, we will get the error because it is running inside the container, but we have mapped this 8080 to the another port, which is 9090, which is we can access our application. So let's change this to 9090. Click send. You can see we get the two records. So let me copy one of this and let's try another endpoint, or we can change this to post body, choose jar, and let's make it JSON and paste it. Let me remove this ID and let's add Shankar at example.com. Click send. You can see the post mapping is also working. And if you look at this, so inside this, actually we start the container and it is started the server. So that is why we are not able to access any of the commands now. We cannot execute any of the commands. We need to open a new terminal in order to do that. There is also one more way I will show you. So let me stop this. And now, first of all, we can see the running containers. Docker PS you can see there are no containers running because we have exit from the container, but we can see the stopped containers. Docker ps -a, this is going to display the stopped containers as well. As you can see, we have stopped this container, and if you want to start this again, we can use the docker start, and we need to specify the image or the container ID, which is 31D. It is going to start it again. And if you look at the docker ps, you can see now it is running, which is 2 minutes ago, up by 5 seconds ago. This will take a couple of seconds to start. If you want to check the logs now, what you can do is docker logs. You need to specify the container ID, which is 31D, and you can see we get the logs. Okay, if you want to keep on seeing the logs, then you just need to add -f option. So logs -f, you can see it is it will be inside the, it will be keep on following the your logs. Okay, so you can just watch the logs. It will be in interactive mode. Okay, if you want to exit it, you can just Control C, it will come out of this. You can go ahead and try this again. Container is started. So let me change this to get, click on this send. You can see we get the 2 records because we have restarted it again. That is why we get the 2 records. This was inserted earlier, and after that we have stopped the container again and we have restarted. So we get the fresh new database which is having the 2 records. Okay, so let me do this. Let me click on this post, click on this send. We do get the new records. Now let's switch back to get, click on this send. We do get the 3 records, which is Bhushan, Bharat and Shankar. Okay, so in case if you want to stop it, like I said, you just need to press Control C. It will be exited. You can see the docker ps -a. You can see the stopped container. If you want to remove this container, docker remove rm and 31d, which is the container ID, hit enter. This will be okay. This has been not deleted because okay, the cannot remove a running container because stop the container before attempting removal of force mode. Okay, this is because our container is docker ps. You can see the container is still running, and first you need to stop this. Docker stop, you need to provide the container ID, which is 31d. Now it has been stopped. Now you can remove this. Docker remove 31d, and now if you see docker ps -a, we do not have any containers, but docker images, we have still image. So if you want to remove the image, docker image, you need to provide rm, which is short for remove, and you need to specify the image ID, which is 3f7. Hit enter. This will be untagged and deleted. Now if you see, we do not have the image. Alright, this is all about Dockerizing the Spring Boot application. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and click the thumbs up button and also subscribe to the channel for future videos. I will see you in the next video.